Namaste everyone. We want to welcome to Satsang today. Guru Srimati Baba ki Jai. Yes. I'm getting the feedback about the sound quality, and we also discussed earlier today that we'll get a different internet connection for this room so that sound is better in a few days. Suppose a blue cow crossed your path. Suppose a blue cow crossed your path. Now, what will you say? That you are aware of the blue cow, or you will say the blue cow is aware of it? You'll actually say that you are aware of it. But actually, what you are saying is that you are aware of the perception of it. You are aware that you are perceiving this blue cow. In the same way, if something happens, like there is a pain in the body, you are aware of the perception of it. Same for thoughts, emotions, any sensation. Now, when the perception of it comes and goes, do you also come and go? Suppose 1 second that blue cow is there, next second, no perception of the blue cow. You are still here. Yeah? Now, the perception of the world is not there. Suppose is your existence dependent on the senses, or is perception dependent on you? So when the sages say that you are independent of all things coming and going, you see that all things that are coming and going are being perceived. But you are that which is aware of this perception and remain untouched, no matter what the perception might be. So, this you, which is independent of perception, is it real? Or is it just a made up concept? This is what this exploration is about. So, when I ask you what is real about you, it means what is it that does not come and go? Why is this important to ask? Because we are looking for that stability. We're looking for that unchanging. Now, so far we have considered ourselves to be something that changes. We have considered ourselves to be this body which is changing and ultimately going to end, if all we've considered ourselves to be some concept, isn't it? Considered ourselves to be an object, like the body, or we've considered ourselves to be a concept, like the soul. But even concepts are always changing. So even in that concept, you don't find yourself. But is there something deeper than perception and conception? Deeper than object and concept? Could it be that this discovery is very simple? Could it be that I just ask you, are you aware now? And you, in this very moment, see that this awareness is neither an object nor just a concept. Hmm? Is it? So when you check, am I aware now? Did you see an object? No. And even if you did find an object, ask yourself who is aware of this? Find out whether you are independent of this object or this object is independent of you. You will find that all experiences depend on your existence. But you are independent of all objects. Similarly, are you answering yes from a concept of awareness? Are you answering it in the same way that you would answer, is the world round? Is it? You would answer yes because you have a concept of it. Is it? Or are you answering it in the way where I ask you what is 374 minus 250? Is it? There you're using your reasoning, you're using your intellect. But are you aware now? Do you see this awareness as an object? Do you see it as a concept? Do you find it as an inference? And the true answer is no. It is none of these things. This is what I call the capital K. Really knowing, not a phenomenal knowing. It is that knowingness itself, that awareness itself. What is this awareness dependent on? From your own insight, you have to say. Is it dependent on some perception? If no perception was happening now, one by one, all perception was good, would you still be here? What point would you leave? Taste, smell, do you leave when thoughts are gone? And who is aware of the space between thoughts? Who is aware of attention? Who is aware of your existence? And is that which is aware dependent on any of this? What is that which is self existent without any support, without any crutches? What is that which is existent even before the quality of existence, the quality of being? And what is your position in this? Your being is recognizing itself in all of this play of perception. And it is recognizing its own source in that which is beyond perception, beyond that which you can perceive, is the self. and all that you can perceive is just a dynamic aspect of itself. But when consciousness plays as if it is a limited entity within all of these perceptions, then it is playing this game of suffering, of misery. How would it be if you just started to consider yourself just toe? If you've been conditioned to believe that you're just this big toe of one of the feet, you are just that. That is the only reality. It would seem constricting, isn't it? It would seem like something is not right. Now, as we have considered ourselves just this body, that is why we have felt so much constriction. And as you're investigating, you're finding that you are not just this. Suppose you were taught to believe that you are just this fingernail, is it? And you had a voice which was constantly talking about this one fingernail, saying this fingernail wants this, it needs to be cleaned, it needs to be cut, it needs to be allowed to grow, it needs this, it needs that. Is it? And then you were learning tricks to how to make the fingernail better. You see, by learning how to manifest things for the fingernail, the secret for the fingernail, you were learning all of these things. But just considering yourself the fingernail. What would you tell such a one who came to you? You would say, look beyond, just for a bit. What else is there? Is it really you? In the same way, but much more exaggerated. So for some of you, it might be sounding like I'm exaggerating with using the big toe as an example or the fingernail as an example. But in a much more exaggerated way, consciousness is believing itself to be just this body-mind. Body with this lawyer called the mind. Let's put it that. But is that really you? Now, for a while, we've been so conditioned to believe this limitation about ourselves that we need some clues. How do I find this real me? Ananta, I have believed myself to be this fingernail for so long. Please tell me how I am something else. And if you feel that there is something genuine being spoken here in the light of the direct experience here, then you will see that the pointers that are being shared, which is what is it that does not come and go, what is it self, which is the coming and going of all things, but is itself qualityless, this unborn, undying self. And what is the usual response? But what will the fingernail feel? What will happen to the life of the fingernail, isn't it? That's the usual response. And I say, but that will be fine. It is connected to something much larger, you see, which is moving in the light of this supreme intelligence. It will be just fine. But the mind will come and say, but how do I believe you? But how can I make sure? I was in this just to make my nail look better. I was here just for a fancy brand of nail polish. Are we stretching this metaphor too much? But you are telling me that I'm so much bigger than that. Actually, the funnier thing is that all of us, deep in our heart, we know the truth. We don't have to even say deep in our heart. Quite apparently, we know the truth. The world is a bit crazy right now. We say this body is not feeling like itself today. We say that I will get some rest only after I die. We say all these thoughts are just very all over the place today. But truly, when it comes to what is it that I am, we know somewhere intuitively in our heart that I'm not just contained in any. I tell you that many such worlds you have come and many such worlds have come and gone for you. Many such bodies have come and gone for you. Many experiences, many lives, all these things have happened. But you have remained untouched, undented by whatever might have come and gone. Millions of births and deaths you have seen through. Every day you die and every day you wake up. Anyway, nothing is bigger than you. But let become some fuel for some spiritual fantasy. Let them become just some inspiration for your own direct insight about yourself. In whose light is this world appearing right now? What light is that? That if it went away, the world would not be. If the sun disappeared behind some dark clouds, there would be a dark world which would still exist. But what about your life? What is that? What is that consciousness? That being? That's why Ved said, in whose light does the sun exist? If you are not, then what is? Okay, Anil, I have to say, that if you can't be quiet, then also just be quiet. Because otherwise, it might seem to the others like there is some running commentary going on while Satsang is being shared. Sangha means that we care about all our brothers and sisters. When something is important which is being shared, then we don't constantly take their attention away to what we want to share. So, what is it? in the light of which all of this is on, all of this exists, in whose light? What is here that is independent of everything else? What is here that is aware of all things? What is here that is independent of all states? What does not go to sleep or wake up? What is that for whom all of these things, all of these states are just coming and going? Who are you? What witnesses your very existence? What is witnessing the perception of all these sounds? Is that disturbed or undisturbed? That's why we must be all so grateful to Bhagwan for showing us this in such a simple way, with a simple inquiry, who am I? Who am I? And if I am that, then who is this one that I always considered myself to be? Am I both? What is real about me? Am I just something which will go away in 20 years, 30 years, 50 years? Do I have an end? Immerse yourself in this inquiry, and you will find that this I, which has pointed for so long to that which is changing, will start to point to that which is eternal, which is timeless. Know that your worldly existence has always been taken care of. It's always been taken care of. Even when it seems like it is a mess. Should I say, especially when? In what light does anything exist? Or you can ask, in what light is anything known? In what light is anything perceived? As you get to the root of all of these pointings, you will see that your existence, your knowingness, all these primal forces of attention and belief, all of them are just yourself. And all qualitative distinction stops to matter so much. Then you will see that there is only the self. But when, as long as we are still attached to qualities, especially using the term mind, then these qualitative differences can seem to matter a lot. You see what I mean when I say qualitative difference? When we stop being so concerned about the quality of our so-called external life, the quality of our feeling, the quality of our thought, and there's a general contentment about just existence, this feeling of harmoniousness. What is the, just a slight digression. All of us, even at a worldly level, if you say, what do we want? We'll say we want happiness. Now, what is happiness? It is this inner harmony. And the biggest culprit for this inner harmony is this sense of desire. This is just riles. And usually it is found that many spiritual paths teach you that you must get rid of desire. There is big trouble with that. Because as long as we consider ourselves, as long as is to acquire more. So truly the letting go of desire happens when you see yourself as what you are. When you see yourself as that unlimited one, then what's left to desire? All that is. So in the inquiry, although it might seem to shake up a lot of things, all our prior conditioning, also as a byproduct you will get all this contentment, happiness. This basically this inner harmony. Because this thorn of desire will not seem as potent to you. It's only when you consider yourself to be only with this sort of boundary, then you can say, I want that also, or this is mine. Right? So the whole thing about desire is wanting something which doesn't seem like it is yours and trying to hold on tight to something which you consider already mine. But once you start to see yourself more universally, once you start to see that this boundary is just mind defined, this limitation is just coming from the mind definition, then you will see that this poking desire seems to lose its power. So don't try to give up desire itself. Find out who you really are and then show me desire. This is like, I keep saying sometimes, I'm like that seller of, these. In India, you find on the roadside, you will find some people who are selling these small bottles. You see? 10 rupees each. Small red color liquid is there. In these small bottles, there's this red color liquid. No matter what your affliction is, I will sell you the same bottle and say, just have this, it'll work. This is what. That's why I've been saying that all confusion actually is a confusion about who you are. Once it is meant away, it is confusing. Limited object, yourself, which your thoughts are telling you are. Just that. The network bandwidth is low. Yes. The next couple of days we'll get a better internet connection. Till then, enjoy the struggle of trying to. As it is, I mumble most of the time. I know it's not easy for you. There's some joy in this also, presumably.
Till the time, meanwhile, you and at the same time you're suppressing the desire. Yes. That makes it even worse.
Worse, exactly. Exactly. Then it really becomes a Mahabharata, this spiritual search. It becomes really full of violent reactions, violent tendencies, violent reactions to those tendencies. Is it? If we hold on to the personal I, the sense of identity, and then try to get mastery desire or over the world, then this seems like a lot more violent spirituality, much more pressure, force being applied from both sides. We see that I don't know who I am. It might seem like a very timid conclusion to come to. I don't know. But in this I don't know, a lot of this violence goes away. The force of trying to achieve something, or the force of, you see? So you just, like in this I don't know, a lot of things are let go. I don't know who I am. The struggle is not so much.
So finally, perceive is not me.
Yes.
Is that enough?
Yes. Yes. Just the I don't know is enough. Even that conclusion that what I'm perceiving is not me, if it is not there, it is also fine. If it is very good. But even if that is not there, it's fine. It is very good. Because this I don't know is openness, is non-resistant.
At the same time, it gives fear also because it's some mind, some
This I don't know is very shaky initially. That's why the presence of a master really helps.
It is same as not. I don't know.
Well, I don't know who I am. Because that not knowing is another whole topic in itself. Do you know that you don't know, or is there knowingness of not knowing? And we'll keep that for another day. As it is, sound is not so good, they'll get frustrated. If we become too technical. So we're just happy to remain in the, initially of course, it can seem fearful, is it? Because you don't know what's happening, where to rest my identity, all that has been taken away. But after a while, you start enjoying it, not knowing the next scene of this movie.
Yeah. You don't know anything about future, nothing.
Then you come to a point where if somebody tries to tell you also, you meet a great astrologer, suppose there is something like that, suppose. You meet a great astrologer, he says, because
I don't know.
not spoilers for Star Wars, the new Star Wars love. So I was avoiding Facebook.
That's the previous show.
So you don't want spoilers. It's only when you fear what is going to come you want spoilers. You want reassurance. That's why I've been saying very often these days that I don't know is not bad. Very good. Guriji told me in our first conversation on the hot seat, actually, and he says, when I said, you have to help me with with my first question because I don't even know that, or something like that. He says, sometimes this is very good because knowing messes things up. All that we have known about ourselves has rested on a mistaken identity of a limited I. So,
So many people don't know about the doctor because
yeah,
then they will tell this is that is the.
this was the opposite also. Really, after this, okay, I'll tell you since it's not fair to not share that. We won't name names. So, what happened is that one Sangha member, Sangha brother, he was feeling a lot of fears coming, a lot of fear was coming. So, what you would call in worldly terms, like this panic attack, anxiety attack was happening for them. So then I've also got the sense that physically there's something going on, some like fever, something is there. So I sent them to the doctor. And the doctor said, you could have malaria. Doctor said to this one, you could have malaria or dengue. Both of them are quite strong disease. And this one was so happy. This one was so happy. Malaria or dengue. Okay, good. At least now I know. Initially, this I don't know can seem very fearful, but there is nobody in the world who's been that happy. So clearly, this mind can create this appeal to have the presence of Guruji, to have the presence of the sages in our life, because they're there to hold our hand through all of this lack of reassurance. You can say it'll be fine, you'll be fine. Don't worry. In this emptiness, not doing anything conceptually. Because this conceptual knowing is what Guruji talks about. Sun, it can feel like the truth. Thank you all so much for being in Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Muji Baba ki Jai.
Sadhguru Shri Ananta Ji.
It seems today the audio is really bad. No? They are saying barely get one word out of 4. Okay, we'll work on this new internet. This is fine. Today it seems like audio is also okay.
Audio goes bad, like even on a good day. There are times the audio just drops and then picks up. So